In this video, we'll be taking a look at the NBA slate for November 7th, 2025, and I'll break it all down with free winning picks so you can bet smarter and win bigger. But first, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get our picks the second they drop, because when the lines move, the early birds cash in. And if you want the full winning sport picks experience, head over to wspicks.com and check out our VIP packages, or grab a free consultation with one of our professional sports consultants for the sharpest edge you'll find anywhere. That's where the real plays live. We are your bookmaker's worst nightmare. These are the games we're hammering, the ones the books can't afford you to bet. This is Winning Sport Picks. The free picks are about to drop, and they're coming in hot. Let's start with Dallas versus Memphis. Dallas is catching plus 4.5, while Memphis sits on the other side at minus 3.5. This number tells the whole story. Both teams have been streaky, but the matchup patterns lean toward tight scoring margins, slower scoring valleys, and long mid-game droughts. Dallas tends to play better as a road dog than a front runner because they're pace control titans, and Memphis tends to open games hot but cool off late when forced into half-court sequences. The 4.5 gives Dallas protection in a game that profiles as possession-based rather than momentum-based. Then you look at the total at 228.5, and these two have been trending to the under whenever the pace stalls early. Memphis's recent efficiency dips against structured defenses cause longer possessions, which normally pushes these matchups under their listed number. Next, Utah versus Minnesota. Utah is getting plus 12.5, while Minnesota lays minus 11.5. The number is massive, but it reflects Minnesota's efficiency at home with defensive surges in the second and fourth quarters. Utah, as an underdog of this size, usually finds a way to keep things respectable before the game slowly slips. Minnesota's style is slow, physical, and rhythm-breaking, great for winning games, but not ideal for covering huge spreads consistently. Utah's tendency to grind late possessions gives them a path to stay within this inflated number. The total sits at 230.5, and that feels high for a Minnesota pace profile that rarely pushes games into track meet territory unless the opponent forces tempo early. Utah doesn't do that. They drag games down. This environment leans under because both teams play prolonged possessions and squeeze transition scoring. Now we shift to Chicago versus Milwaukee. Chicago sits at plus 4. Milwaukee sits at minus 3. This rivalry always brings out a slower early rhythm before it breaks open late. Chicago, as a short dog, has performed better than expected, especially against teams that rely heavily on rhythm and spacing. Milwaukee's issue comes when opponents dictate tempo early, and Chicago, even when struggling, controls pace better in road spots. That makes the plus 4 attractive in what should be a nail-biter decided by late possessions. Total at 240.5 feels inflated. These teams have played under in similar setups when market expectations swing too high. Both squads tend to start slow, feel each other out, then settle into half-court patterns that burn the clock. Now we roll into Oklahoma City versus Sacramento. Oklahoma City is getting plus 10. Sacramento is laying minus 9. OKC, catching double digits, historically fights above expectation because their defensive intensity increases as underdogs. Sacramento is a hot and cold team with massive scoring bursts, but equally large droughts. That inconsistency makes it difficult to trust them to cover big numbers. OKC thrives in games that become grind-heavy and possession by possession, which is exactly what this matchup leans toward. Total at 230.5 has a slight lean to the under because OKC slows games more as an underdog, and Sacramento's pace often fluctuates based on shot quality rather than pure tempo. Finally, Golden State versus Denver. Golden State gets plus 10. Denver lays minus 9. Denver is one of the strongest home teams in basketball, but Golden State performs better as a road dog than people expect. The market overcorrects for Denver's altitude advantage, inflating numbers like this. Golden State tends to keep these games within range thanks to disciplined pacing on the road, reducing turnovers and forcing half-court play. That makes the plus 10 live here. The total at 227.5 sits in that mid-range zone where Denver often leans under because their home defensive efficiency spikes late in games, choking off scoring runs and shortening possessions. This matchup fits that trend. Now listen to me, those are the free picks, but the one game I am unloading on tonight, the game that's going to crush your bookie's soul? That's the VIP play of the day at WSPicks.com. This is the nuke, the hammer, the max bet, the one play I've circled, the game that will bury your bookmaker 6 feet under. When it hits, and it will, your bookie is going to need a doctor, a lawyer, and maybe even a priest. If you want to ride with me on the biggest bet of the day, get to WSPicks.com right now. So let's recap it clean and simple. Dallas plus 4.5 and under 228.5. Utah plus 12.5 and under 230.5. Chicago plus 4 and under 240.5. Oklahoma City plus 10 and under 230.5. Golden State plus 10 and under 227.5. This is Winning Sport Picks, where we don't just bet, we bury bookmakers. Smash that subscribe button, drop your favorite plays in the comments, and hammer that like button like you're hammering your bookie into the dirt. We're cashing, we're dominating, and tonight we're dancing on the grave of your bookmaker. Let's go!